All right. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Members of the culture. I'm Ra. You are here. And sorry if I'm a little lost for words. This is episode 10 of the Catch the Fade podcast. Remember, we were uncertain as to whether we would do it. And we had some things come up where we weren't able to get on yesterday. But we're here now. And a little lost for words. Firstly, before we really get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, and be our usual jovial selves, we'd be remiss if we did not extend our condolences to the family of the wrestling legend that we here have learned sadly passed away today, and that will be one, the immortal Hulk Hogan. Certainly a controversial figure, but no matter how you feel about Hulk Hogan, it is an undeniable fact that without Hulk Hogan, pro wrestling would not be where it is today. So we certainly, while we say thank you for everything you did for Hulk Hogan, our condolences are with his family because the passing of a loved one is always a tough event. So to Hulk Hogan, we say thank you, good sir, and rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. That's why we have the belt here in honor. Hulk Hogan will be doing the belt. We'll have it here for the broadcast. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest streaming podcast that nobody knows about yet, which is Catch the Fade, episode 10. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. We're now open for business. It is the time is almost upon us, but we're calling it the day because depending on where you are, I mean, we had an early screening for certain media members and things like that. But for the general public, today, even though 7/25/25 is the actual day that nationwide it launches everywhere, in certain select markets today, you can be among the first people to see Reed Richards and his Fantastic Four get their ass whooped. It is Fantastic Four day. So you should be excited for that, ladies and gentlemen. I am very pumped up. As you guys know, I'm a big Galactus is my number one character of all time. So I've been a huge fan of Galactus, remain a huge fan of Galactus to this day. Very excited for Fantastic Four First Steps. Cannot wait to see it. I've avoided some of the trailers on a lot of things, reviews, even though I know that for the most part they've been positive. I haven't watched a single one through because I want to be surprised. I want to enjoy the movie. So to those of you that do not know, this will be a day of days, right? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, go out, support movies, go out and support MCU movies, particularly. Um, this is going to be a big, big day, So let's make sure we support the filmmakers who put so much into their films. It's critical that we do that. Movies are important. They help us out tremendously. So for that, I have to say, please, 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 no matter how you feel about Kevin Feige or any of the filmmakers out there, give those people a return on their investment. They put this film out here for us, so let's go out there and support them today. I am going to support Superman. For those of you that don't know, I haven't seen it yet. Please don't spoil it in the comments. I will be seeing Superman soon, but because I want to support James Gunn and his vision also, regardless of how I feel about Henry Cavill. I've talked about that, but support filmmakers. I'm a big I'm a big proponent of that. So, what else are we going to be talking about today? We started off a little bit, unfortunately, depressing news, but there's some good news for those of you who've been looking. There's been a lot of San Diego Comic-Con reveals. Motu, Mondo, I want to say G.I. Joe, I think. I haven't seen everything, but I've been looking at a lot of the stuff that's debuting out there. And ladies and gentlemen, some really cool reveals, actually. Mondo, that's for you big ballers out there. I put Mondo and Sideshow kind of in the same group because they're big money. They make fantastic products. Let me be clear on that. I'm not trying to disparage them or say, hey, they don't make good stuff, because they do. If you can afford them, those are what I call the premium products, premium collectibles, right? So I don't even refer to their stuff as action figures. So the stuff I collect is action figures. Stuff like that is premium collectibles, right? So definitely give them their credit too. Support them. Those of you that are ballers that have the funds to do it, by all means, it looked like a good time at San Diego Comic Con. I'm still looking at some pictures and videos of the reveals. So I look forward to seeing everything that they put out. To be honest with you, I am really. I was blown away by some of the Mondo stuff I saw. Looked really impressive. Really, I can't lie. That Beast Man, not today. When I say that Beast Man, those of you that have the Beast Man I'm talking about from Mondo before, shout out Michael Tuning if he's listening. He has it in his display. That Beast Man is a showpiece. If there ever was one by Mondo, it was fantastic. It was beautiful. Not that the Skeletor isn't the Skeletor. Showpiece too. Battle Cat. Those things are awesome that Mondo does. Those are showpieces that, like I said, they're collectibles. They're going, if you rolling up in there with 30 or 40 bucks, I suggest you go get yourself a nice Marvel Legend or something from my man Todd McFarlane, because what you will not be getting for that price is a showpiece from Mondo or anything from Sideshow Collectibles, right? But anyway, hopefully everybody's tuning in to the San Diego Comic Con. It's a cool event. It's one of those things that we have to cherish that we have, because we had some wonderful things that maybe one day, and I say this is part of the culture. Some of you out there may not be old enough to remember this, but once upon a time, we had a thing called E3. E3 was the Electronic Entertainment Expo. Fantastic. Shout out Cal Henley, Marvin Chevalier, Spencer Chevalier. Trying to think who else might have been there. My dear brother Brandon Best. All love out there in the great up north of Canada, where he resides right now in Surrey. So shout out to my brother, One Love. The E3 was fantastic. That was like the Super Bowl for gaming at that time, right? It was like, so you have your Comic Cons. So think of it as gaming's big con, because you had all the big video game companies were there. EA, Ubisoft. Who am I leaving out? EA, Ubisoft. If Activision, they were all there. And a lot of times I'm saying EA because now these companies have bought up all the other companies, MERS and whatnot. So not as many, but everybody back then was there. If you were the who's who of gaming, you were there. You had booth babes, that was a thing. So they had models dressed up as Lara Croft and Jill Valentine, and I mean, it was cool. And then people kind of treated it; they cosplayed there too, because the public could get in to a certain degree back then, and it was a show, man. Like, you would find out what was going to be coming out that year and the next year as far as the gaming world. Consoles would be displayed there, although sometimes consoles would be displayed at CEO, which happened in like January every year, still does to this point. But E3 was it, man. It was the big thing. So if you were a gamer, or because gamers are part of the culture too, man. I'm one. I respect all my gamers, but E3, that was our Super Bowl for us. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, Lord have mercy. See, you can't remember. Las Vegas knows what I'm talking about. Shout out Las Vegas. Been there a million times. But our number one gaming tournament, Evo, was in Las Vegas. Still is. It's Las Vegas, and that was our Super Bowl for fighting game people. So you had E3, and then you had Evo. CEO. Between that, you knew everything that was happening in the world of fighting games, in the world of gaming, culture, tech. If you watched those three things each year, or were attended those three things, you knew everything there was to know. And cons were icing on the cake. So if you went to anime cons and things like that, that was just icing on the cake, because everybody had separate events. South by Southwest for movies and other things I'm probably forgetting at this point because it's ancient history, but those events mattered, and I wish E3 was still a thing. I do. I say that all the time. Everybody now, like Nintendo, does their own thing, and Microsoft, EA, they all do their own thing. But when we had E3, it was spectacular. Everybody under one roof at the exact same time, ready to do it. They would let out like you would know new Assassin's Creed. Who could ever forget Gears of War? Who could? I mean, there were so many things that got revealed at E3. Splinter Cell. I'm trying to think. Like even fighting games would be there. You know, although they would come to a lot of times you'd get big reveals at Evo. Sometimes the big fighting games that happened, they would be at E3 too. You'd see it. I mean, so I harken back to that, and I wish E3, and there's no reason that they can't do it because they do these events online. But just like Evo came back after COVID and became a thing where it's getting that momentum and tournaments have become a thing again, Evo really and truly could be a big thing. It takes a lot of money to do it, and I understand that not every company wants to invest in that. But for the fans, I think Evo making a return has been gone. It would be fantastic. I mean, games still come out. We still see things as we approach the digital age where we're in it. I'm still a physical collector. A lot of my friends still are. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do an E3 that shows reveals and footage. You do it now, but you celebrate it. And I mean, it's not celebrated. It's just launched, and it's news, but it's just done kind of in hey, oh, by the way, this is what's coming out. Until you like, don't get me wrong, Nintendo Direct's a good thing, and Microsoft and all of them that do the PlayStation, those things are good, but they don't really. I mean, now I think they've had some areas where people can be, but it doesn't hit like E3 did. Anyone that's ever been to an E3 or saw an E3 knows for a fact G4, that was a gaming channel. Look it up. It was cool back then. I'd love to see that come back too, by the way. I'm a big fan of that. I'd love to see that come back as long as it's done correctly, like it used to be back in the days of X-Play and stuff like that. But I would love for E3 to come back because the way it hit was just different, man. It was presented like a Super Bowl. They invested money like if you were gonna launch your game, the who's who of gaming was in E3. And I better get this light. Excuse me, folks. I always forget that. I got it bright as the sun in here, so I'm sorry that you see my magnitude and the amazing reflection on this bald head. But as I was saying, E3 was where it was for gaming at that time, and I think that's huge. And I really wish it would come back. One can hope, one can hope. Everything can make a comeback because everything is cyclical in life. It all comes back around. At least most of it does. Fashion, cars, all that stuff. But if anyone from E3 is listening, any of these game companies, I'm somebody. I know I'm not alone. Because I've seen trending movements and people petitioning, but I would love to bring back E3. I think it deserves a place in the culture. It deserves a place in the zeitgeist, as we call it out there, for people. E3 was huge for a lot of us, and it absolutely, without question, needs to come back. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm dead serious. I would love to see E3 return. Big thing. And congrats to Evo making its way back and becoming once again the premier fighting game tournament place to be. If you're a scrapper and E3 is where you want to be. Not excuse me, E3, I apologize. If you're a scrapper, Evo is where you want to be. Big shout out to that. Shout out to my main man Punk out there. Got a lot of love for Punk, man. That's my guy. Shout out to him. Shout out to there's a million great commentators, man, fighters too, man. They fight, they're both players and commentators. Katana Prime, guys like that. Shout out to my man Chris G and my beloved hero, man, IFC Yipes. You know what I'm saying? Where your curly mustache at? That's right. Shout out Yipes, man. Big shout out to Yipes, man. He doing big things out here. Got nothing but love from my man NYC Yipes out there. You got love from your boy down here in Memphis, Tennessee. So Evo, big shout out to you. Shout out to all the fighting game tournaments, Combo Breaker, CEO, all of them, man. Shout out to fighting games too, man. That's a part of life right there. A big part of life that people don't understand and don't give it its props and its credit. It's a huge part of gaming as a whole. And fighting games lets you do what you wouldn't do in normal life to your boss on a certain day. You can go home and pretend that that boss is him, unless you're fighting Bison, who's going to cheap you out, Street Fighter. But you know what I'm saying. And then not just that, people that play Call of Duty, shout out Call of Duty. People go out there and you visualize and take out your frustration of the day on your boss. You take it out in a virtual world. Nobody knows that you're taking it out, and that's it. I've set up many games of Black Ops or back in the day where I would just have me and just bots, and all those bots would represent the people that had irritated me that day that I got to kill over and over and over again virtually. So They have their place, great stress relief, hand-eye coordination, a lot of benefits. But yeah, I'm a big gamer. Well, I was back in the day, and I still try to every now and then when I can get my gaming session in. Got a lot of irons in the fire right now. Merch, working on it. You guys have heard me talk about the great raw merch, still coming. Working on that. Just a lot, man. Just a lot going on, and I definitely 110% will be a part of of gaming. I mean, we may do gaming streams one day. You never know. This channel is still, although it launched at the end of March, we're still very much in our infancy here, improving and getting better every day. And then speaking of as a channel, we definitely want to give a shout out to our supporters out there, and that might be other channels. And by that I mean, number one, my main man, Clever's Multiverse. You're not watching him, please make sure you're watching him. For all my statue fans out there, you love action figures and statues, well, you know where to go. If you're trying to find out the latest and greatest in statues and whether or not it's something worth it, then you got to be checking out my main man, Tony the Toy Rat. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel and checking him out. Bones in the Necro Zoo. Got to give a shout out to my man Bones, always doing his thing. So that big shout out to him. Shout out Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews. A great channel for where he rants and he reviews, and he does it better than anybody else. Undisputed champion of ranting, bro, without question. Shout out to Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews. Shout out to 5 Points of Articulation, another fantastic channel. I would be remiss if I did not mention my man D Hunter, the hardest working reviewer on the internet today. Big shout out to him, Anthony's Customs. If you're looking at photography and how to pose action figures, you can definitely go check out my man Zoe Bad Blood and D is Amazing. They are fantastic reviewers as well as photographers. Toy photography is a big thing. I'm trying to get into that too, man. I got my hands in too many things. I certainly would like to do that. But definitely shout those guys out, creators. If you're on TikTok, please make sure you're checking out Action Figure Collector. I think it's _collector. That dude is top notch. He's fantastic. And for all your shopping toy needs, I could plug Big Bad. I go there. I'm not saying I'm a customer. Definitely Big Bad Toy Store. But I like to shout out local people. So I'm shouting out my good man, Remington Staples, and the good people of Happy Mongoose Toys. Shop with the Mongoose. They are fantastic. Good prices and absolutely good people over there. So my man, Remington Staples, who runs that wonderful company, CEO is the CEO and the chief spokesperson. He's a good man. Okay, definitely he's a good man. So I've shouted out all of those people, folks, because to me it's useless to promote just yourself on a platform. I feel like you need to, if you have a voice, you need to go ahead and show love to other people who are doing positive things out here, and that's what we try to do. We try to promote other content creators. We promote other businesses and good people in general. That's what keeps the world going. That whole cyclical thing. Remember, I told you that earlier. So certainly, folks. But as I said in closing with the part about E3 and Evo, support your local tournaments. If you have one that I didn't know about, because I'm sure there's plenty of local tournaments that still happen. Support your local tournaments. Support Evo. And definitely support the hashtag Bring Back E3. I think that's a hashtag. If it's not, it is now because I just said it. But I'm pretty sure it already is. So by all means, definitely support them 100%. Shout out San Diego Comic-Con and all the reveals. Was there anything in the reveals that you were looking forward to, that you saw, that you liked? Let me know in the comments down below. Were you waiting on Mondo or Sideshow or somebody to launch something brand new that you saw? Please, by all means, that's what the comment section is for, folks. Get active. I only ask that you keep it classy. That's all I ask. By all means, let us know what you were looking forward to and if it was there. What do you think about the Mondo reveals? What do you think about any reveals that you saw? Because like I said, it's still kind of ongoing. I don't think it's done. Everybody's still posting stuff. So if you got something, go ahead and post. We'll share it by all means. That's what the culture is about, folks. I did see the Morph figure. I did see that. And some people were kind of indifferent about them. I mean, not indifferent, but they were kind of hating on the Morph figure. I'm gonna call it like I see it. I feel like they were hating on it. I don't know what was really expected. I mean, my man X-Manny87, shout out to him too. Great channel. He was looking at it and he brought up some really good, valid points about it. I mean, you might take issues with it being kind of blocky a little bit. I get that part with the jacket, but I don't really necessarily know what people were expecting with Morph. The heads look great. I mean, I think it's going to be a decent figure. You can't do X-Men 97 and not have Morph. So, yeah, it was just a matter of time. So I'm definitely looking forward to that figure. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk. I mean, you guys know Jada is taking on Invincible from what we heard. So shout out Jada Toys. They're doing big things. I mean, we've been giving them their props on the channel. We actually have a video that's going to drop next week where we talk about Jada Toys and all the good things that Jada Toys has going on. They got a lot, man. Folks, if you don't know about Jada Toys, it's okay. Because, I at one point was sleeping on them too. So don't feel bad about that. But trust me, Jada Toys right now is crushing it, absolutely crushing it. They make some of the best figures, particularly their Street Fighter line, which they're going to complete. So shout out to Jada Toys for completing a line. I love Storm Collectibles, but they never finished the Mortal Kombat line completely, although I love them. And now they're doing Street Fighter. So, that could be due to Jada. So Jada inspired Storm. Shout out to Jada again. Storm Collectibles, one of the best in the game. I got mad love for them. So hopefully they'll complete a Street Fighter line. Between Storm and Jada, all of our Street Fighter dreams may yet come true. Super excited about that, folks. See that. But like I said, if you haven't checked out their toys, they're there on the shelf behind me. You can see Sagat. But we've done some videos on the channel, and we will be doing a big one, just all about Jada Toys that drops next week. So make sure you check out that. It'll be entitled Jada in Its Glory, I think is what it's titled. You got so many videos, it's hard to remember. But just know that it'll be an appreciation for all things Jada. Totally looking for it. I didn't want to block the belt for those of you looking at it. Folks, this year it's a big year for toys, very really big year. And I think even though some of the movies, Doomsday and stuff, gets pushed back, which will give Superman and obviously Fantastic Four first steps, and Spider-Man Brand New Day, it'll give these movies time to breathe, time to shine that they deserve. You won't feel and I think that's actually a good idea, believe it or not, because even though you can have some good movies, I don't want to say superhero fatigue, but if you put out too much, you can have too much of a good thing. I love chocolate, but too much if anything, is bad, can be bad for you, right? So spreading the movies out, not a bad idea at all. So letting these three movies get an opportunity to shine in 2025 will be good, and hopefully they'll all set up Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff like that going forward. And I know there'll be other movies in the future as James Gunn continues to shape DC in his vision, and Marvel moves on to like Kevin Feige just announced the other day, their 7-year plan. So we're looking forward to all things. It's a good time, man, to be in the culture. Games, movie, music. I mean, we're winning right now. Those fans out there that got your boots on the ground listening to Beyonce and everybody else, hey, shout out to y'all too, man. Y'all are part of the culture. It's a good year. I want to say that it's been fantastic so far. It's not over with. We still got a little less than a year for DC figures. So my main man Todd McFarlane, shout out McFarlane Toys. Always gonna do that. That man is fantastic. Uncle Tim Rants Reviews had a video where you say he ranted, but he told the truth, where he said y'all are gonna miss McFarlane Toys. I agree. I think we have a McFarlane video that's due to drop next week too, if I'm not mistaken. You got Jada Toys and McFarlane. There's one more. I can't remember what it is, but we do have another one, and I'll let you know what that is at some point. But just know at least those two videos are coming next week along with the podcast, which will be episode 11 of Cash to Fade. But those two videos, Jada Toys and the other one I just mentioned, see, got so much going on. It's too much, even for a guy that drinks Rise Mushroom Coffee, which ties into today's not sponsor, but I'm still talking about him. Rise Mushroom Coffee, folks, has done amazing things for me health-wise on my health journey. Those of you that don't know, we start this channel and on behalf of a better life journey, a better mental health journey, and a better health journey overall. Trying to lose weight, get in shape, get yourself better mentally, and in shape in every way possible, physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, all those things. And Mushroom Coffee has been wonderful as part of my morning routine. It, along with another shout out, True Sea Moss Gel, tastes great. I mean, these two things together, these products have absolutely been game changers for me and helped me on my journey thus far, down over 12 pounds in a month. So definitely I can say that they work. Maybe they can help you too, but it's True Sea Moss Gel and Rise Mushroom Coffee, two products that you could add to your morning routine that hopefully might help you as they're helping me. So shout out to them too. It seems like all I do is shout out, but that's okay. As long as I'm promoting something positive, man, I'll shout out till I don't have any voice left because there's so many negative things in the world out here. We need something positive in our lives, 100%. So speaking of positive, I'm going to end this podcast on another note. One more time. Reed Richards' time is up. It is Fantastic Four First Steps Day. It is time for you to stretch and see. We're going to see how far that Galactic's ass of yours can stretch for the boot of Galactus that's going to go up your overly intelligent ass, Reed Richards. Can't wait to see you get what's coming to you. That's right. All hail Galactus. You all know we support my man Galactus over here. Shout out to the Funko Pops of Galactus up there. I don't know if y'all see him or not. Raise up. Shout out to the Funko Pops of Galactus. Shout out to the HasLab Galactus. Shout out to the Toy Biz Galactus. Shout out to the, well, I ain't gonna say the cloud. We ain't gonna do that. That's even for us, that's probably a bridge too far. Well, anyway, I ain't gonna shout that out, but shout out to Fantastic Four First Steps. I know it's gonna be an amazing experience. Expect a review, just like we review a lot of toys and stuff like that on the channel. Action figures. It would be we'd be remiss if we did not tell you that both Superman and Fantastic Four First Steps will each get a review here on the channel, so you can look forward to that. Folks, I'm not going to take any more of your time. I appreciate you all tuning in and checking out a bald guy on the internet, and we will come back at you next week with Catch the Fade episode 11. Until then, we'll also have we'll have regular videos on the channel. As I said, we got a whole feature on Jada that's going to drop next week, so we'll look forward to that. I want to say there's another one. You know, it might be NECA. I think it's the NECA Gargoyles. We'll be talking about that, or TMMT. I can't remember which one it is. See, we got so many videos, and even Rise Mushroom Coffee can help me keep up with it, baby. We got content for days coming. So thank you all so much for supporting us. We really appreciate every person that subscribes, every person that watches, particularly those of you that comment. Please comment, because this is an interactive endeavor. We need you all to comment as well as your support. That means everything to us. So please continue to like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, do all those things. And until we are fortunate enough to meet again, ladies and gentlemen, please continue to stay collecting whatever you collect. Please continue to stay tuned to YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. Am I missing anybody? X, all of those, and TikTok at The Great Ra Forever, or The Great Ra, depending on which one you're using. We got links in the description. But in any case, please continue to make sure that you stay tuned to us. And above all, and I mean this for everybody, please continue to stay great. We will see you all on the next video. Take care. God bless y'all. We'll see you.